press that area. Any pain?
No.
Good. It's good to hear. Other than that little spot taking forever to heal, you've really taken to. We haven't had any complications, knock on wood. Help the fiberglass it'll keep it from sticking to the liner too. We want to keep this thing looking nice and neat. That's the end of that. Right on. I'm gonna have you be my scribe.
Okay.
This guy. And you can go ahead and relax that leg. Whatever feels a slight bend in it is actually okay. Because that tells us kind of where we want front to back to be. Pull this down just a hair too. This can be trimmed after the fact. The only we want it above the edges of the socket, which will end about here. So we can cut all this off. We can leave it long, whatever your learned preference is. I say learned because nobody knows exactly how long they like it until we do it wrong. It's easier if we leave it too long.
Then we can trim it back.
Then we can trim it. When we trim it too short and it won't stay up because your leg sweats.
Now what's that?
This is just to cover up the liner so that I can write on it.
Okay.
So we're just gonna throw that up over top and get it to stay nice and tight. This is where all my markings are going. Water and casting stuff.
Looks like an oversized penis, huh?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Only you.
Hmm.
I said only you.
It's better than I thought it was going to be.
Huh?
This is a better process than I thought it was going to be.
You thought it was going to be a little bit more invasive?
I thought I was going to hate the hell out of it.
That's a fair point. Go ahead, relax your leg. Perfect. The only bad part is if we get you stuck in the leg. But this will help with that. So we've already mitigated all the issues. Hopefully.
But yeah, I was online, I was looking at Autobot and all the things that they're doing. I was like, wow, they got a lot of nice stuff.
Yeah. They, the only complaint I have with Autobot, we were just talking about it this morning, that they are aware they have nice stuff and they put a lot of research into developing the nice equipment, and so their prices are not very fair.
Yeah.
Another company just came out with a very similar product. Well, it's been out for a couple months, or a couple years actually, and they had coding that Autobot did not, and Autobot copied their coding, added 2 other codes, and so we thought, oh great, now we can finally make a profit on the Autobot product. Well, they immediately proceeded to raise their price too.
Wow.
To reflect the codes, because they were like, if you're going to get paid more, we're going to get paid more. So I thought that was a little dumb, but can you feel that down there too? Is that sensitive? Okay. Kind of feel that bone going down, but it's not too prominent down at the bottom.
I don't feel a damn thing down
Good. You won't have any pain. We just gotta make sure we get all of these bony buildups proper, so that we don't cause any damage.
The only thing that I saw is that one lady said is to make sure that there's enough room in the back
For those tendons.
For full range of motion, so that I can actually bend my knee.
Yep.
And it doesn't cut into the back of my thigh.
Exactly. So I started a little high. That's going to be the conversation we had back and forth. Is I always start at, basically you want to capture this bone so that it's not wobbling around in there.
Right.
That means that we start it right about here. Go ahead, relax your knee. That's right about right. Right where where your knee's bending.
Right.
And then you
can adjust down.
Slowly lower. We sacrifice stability as we cut it lower, but if you're stable enough, you're pretty strong, you don't have any looseness in your knee, so I don't see a problem going lower.
Okay.
Are you sitting both hips square? You kind of cockeyed. Perfect. Sorry. Relax your knee again. Let it hang. Mark. Side to side. That's down the front. Okay. So now time for some measurements. Let me write down and you'll just fill in the blank.
Okay. So when I order extra liners, this is a 36?
This one's a 30.
30?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll come with 2. Your first prosthesis, you get 2 of them, and then every 6 months, insurance will pay to replace them.
Oh, okay.
VA actually, you can do it as often as you want because it's just time it takes. So we send in a request, hey, we need new liners. These ones are stretched out, coming apart, because that's what you'll start to notice is the gel will separate from the fabric, That's just use.
Okay.
So they will replace them.
We got an option. What color they come in?
Depending on
Or do I go to Amazon?
depending on the material. So this new, I forget what they call it. It's supposed to be a little bit more less tacky so that it doesn't tug on your skin.
Okay.
I get really good feedback on this liner. It only comes in gray with the white fabric.
Okay.
That one is brown, like a lighter colored brown like this, but it's different gel, different material.
Okay.
So they don't accommodate color changes very well.
Okay.
6, 8, length. And now AP. All right. I'll read off what I'm measuring, and you just fill in where our marks are.
Okay.
So at 0, we are 386. At TIB, we are 362. Sorry. Two, we'll probably only get to 4. At 1, measurement is 371. At 2, measurement is 38.
3.8.
Yep, 380. If we want to keep it uniform. Let's add a 3 in there. Yeah, right in between 2 and 4. 382. Because that's right at the tip of right at your apex, where it gets biggest. And then we're going back down the other side. Is 373.
That's 4, right?
That's 4, and I think that's all we're gonna get because 6 is off the end. We could get a 5 here, so you can cross out 6 and put 5. This is gonna be 3, 4, 2.
Okay.
And then ML. It's the other way. We'll call it 4 5/8 inches. AP. That's 4. And the length. Wrong tool for the job. Call it 9 inches. All right. this stuff starts out kind of squishy like fabric.
Mm-hmm.
We'll wrap you up like a mummy,
Mm-hmm.
and you probably won't feel it getting warm because the liner absorbs the heat,
Okay.
but it'll get nice and toasty and set up hard like a shell.
Okay.
Trap everything nice and tight, especially down here at the end. You can let your leg dangle.
Now, what do I wash this liner with? Just soap and water?
I typically, my go-to is Dawn dish soap. It's nice and gentle on your skin. Go ahead, let your leg hang just a little bit. It is low on fragrant, so anything, let your leg relax. Anything that is typically used on your body, body wash, anything like that you can use.
Okay.
You wash it every night just to keep the bacteria low. The inside needs to be washed every night. The outside can be washed kind of time to time when it starts to look dirty. You'll let it air dry overnight before putting it back on.
Okay. So do I keep wearing this or no?
Yes. Yeah, that'll help us in the fitting process. I'm gonna shave some of the end of this. What I do with this is I take a plaster mold, so I'll fill up this copy of you, and I'll shape it down so that it's nice and tight back here in the back where my fingers are, nice and tight on the sides. I'll build up the bony areas with more plaster so that you're not getting pressure over areas that aren't pressure tolerant. And then we'll have a plastic kind of demo that you can walk around on.
Okay.
If you keep wearing that religiously, basically 23 hours a day, take it off to wash, but then go ahead and put it back on. That'll help shrink this edge down a little bit better so that you're able to slide in and out of that socket.
Okay.
So that's my goal for this next fitting. Not hard like a shell. Sometimes these slide right off, but I think yours is stuck pretty good, so it's a good thing we took every measure we need to.